Where has the been since I saw thee on Ilkla Moor Baht?
So it may not look it, that about 1600 years ago, I'd probably been dodging traffic standing here, because this is part of, is it Ackling or Ackling Dyke? The Roman road that runs from Old Sarony near Salisbury to Exeter. Now, nobody knows much about Ackling Dyke, not even its age, other than it's Roman, because I'm stood on the Agger with a ditch, well, certainly on one side, maybe a drainage ditch on the other, because it slopes down that way. One theory is, when the Second Augusta were at Exeter, they improved a prehistoric route to maintain a link to London. More excavations along its length, particularly near Badbury Rings and Bockley Dyke, have suggested that it's actually a late 4th century road, which would account for it being fairly lightly used, not resurfaced that often, and in some places barely resurfaced at all. In fact, in some places just a spread of gravel over the soil to stabilise it. But the section we're at is Puddletown Forest, which caused a few problems for Roman road engineers, because, let me swing you around. Don't know whether you can see it, but in the distance that way is a ridge. It's quite a steep ridge running over the top to Thorncombe and Dorset, with some Iron Age or Bronze Age barrows on the top, rain barrows if you know the area. So they had to make quite a deviation from the alleged always straight line Roman roads. Roman roads were only straight lines where they didn't have to divert around something. And in this case, they had to climb up a steep ridge. So there's quite a significant bend or two in it where it zigzags up the hill. So what we'll do is we'll head a bit further down that way, and I'll show you how the road develops. But this is a quite clear part of the road over the ridge in Duddleston Heath, or Duddle Heath is it, and Thorncombe Woods. There's a very well preserved bit that were uncovered only about, what, 20 years ago, something like that. So for this bit, I'll set her out and catch you later on. You see, I'm on the Agger. This is one of the side ditches. As I say, that side is quite a steep slope, so it doesn't need a second ditch. But it used to be fairly well preserved. Just walkers and forestry vehicles using it. But over the last few years, it's become popular with mountain bikers. And they're really eroding some parts of it. The roots mainly cross it, and as they cross it, they erode the ditches and the banks. But it's not illegal. It's immoral, in my opinion, but that's just me. So you can see we're coming to a junction, but it's just a forestry road. The Roman road runs straight up the hillside until it starts curving to get round the steeper sections. I'm still stood on the Agger, as you can see, and up there where we start climbing the hill. But this is one of the things that must have bedeviled the road engineers, because the geology around here is very strange. Although we're on chalk, overlying the chalk is a layer of mixed sands, gravel, flint, cherts, and every now and again a sinkhole, or what the early Ordnance Survey called swallow holes, opened up in the ground, making a deep circular depression. This is quite a small, shallow one, but it's right on the edge of the road. In some places the road has actually collapsed, and a sinkhole has taken all the road into it. Trusting the old adage that Romans tried to build straight roads wherever they could, don't be tempted to follow the forestry road to the right, carry straight on up, and as you can see it starts bending up there to get up onto the ridge. Well, Ace is ready for it. I suppose I'd better catch my breath and do it as well. See, we're still on the Roman road. Oh, we're still stood on the Agger. There's the ditch and a bank there from excavating. Still a vague outline of one, that side. Right, so up to here, the road has been reasonably straight. A few twists and bends, which may be modern, and a few to get around maybe swallow holes, sinkholes. But then we've got to go up there next. The first bend. So anyone that says Romans only built roads in straight lines, tell them they're idiots. So you get round that bend and you see this, just as steep, continuing into the distance, and round yet another bend. But we must be near the top. It's lightning now, not many trees on the horizon. Hopefully the last bend coming up. It's a very steep bit, this. Final bend. And I don't know whether the Romans ever said it, but Victoria, or S Victoria Alt, or Mea, sorry. My Latin's rusty. Yeah, victory is mine. You know that little sinkhole, swallow hole I showed you earlier on by the side of the Agger? Well, look at this one. It's a good, what, 30 metres? No, not 30 metres. Maybe 20 metres deep. Now that's what I call a sinkhole. Once again, nearest time it perfectly round. A few mature trees growing in it to show how old it is. But whether it's pre-Roman or post-Roman, I'm not sure, because we're virtually, in fact, we're only a few metres away from the top of the climb up onto the ridge, where the road, Roman road, the Agger meets the ridge between, where are we? Puddletown Forest and Bompton Down. Let's just walk back to the... It's even so deep they fenced this one off. Now that's the route of the Roman road now. It's a permissive path over private land, but it goes down towards Dorchester and across to, as I say, across towards Exeter, part of Ackling or Ackling Dyke. And this is where poor aching Roman soldiers and horses would have sighed with relief, because we're at the top of the ridge. The road levels out here, then crosses over and goes, whoops, that way. And it's quite a well preserved part across there. When they cleared the scrub a few years ago, they found it really well preserved. But that's a walk for another day. I'm going to sit down and have a drink here. And we might walk up to Rain Barrows, which is just up there. Some Bronze Age barrows. All this ridge is littered with barrows, tumuli. What you been rolling in, you stinky dog? Hey, you been rolling in something smelly? Yeah. Well, we'll have a sit down in the shade, I think. An interesting thing about this road is there are several ghost stories along it. Don't know whether you believe ghost stories, but there are quite a few. None that I know of in the forest, Puddletown Forest. A few around Dorchester, and certainly a very regularly seen one of Roman soldiers over towards Bay Regis, on a little bit of the Roman road there, where the road from Milbourne St Andrew crosses over, going towards God, do you know, one of the puddles or piddles? Anyway, there's a short section where it crosses over near Bay Regis, and ghosts of a marching Roman army are regularly seen there. So if you hear the sound of studded sandals on gravel and cobbles, stand very still, breathe silently if you can, and wait for them to march past. Right, with that I think we'll head back to the car for Ace to get a drink and me to get a coffee.